isn't this extremely helpful?
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Welcome everybody, I'm here with my cosplay wife, Maker Fishmeal. Wait, no, this is Charlie.
Hello, welcome to my workshop. I'm Maker Fishmeal and this is my husband, Zeke. We prepared some questions to ask each other today, so we're just gonna take turns awkwarding each other out. This is Charlie. She is really interested in being involved, so.
So my first question is, Charlie, what is your favorite kind of treat? There's actually more cats. They're everywhere. They're all around you. You can't see them. There's one here, there's one here, there's one there. Do you have any cosplay wardrobe malfunctions that you're willing to share?
I actually think that cosplay wardrobe malfunctions are a big part of cosplay, and that like going into a con or a photo shoot expecting wardrobe malfunctions will actually make your whole experience a lot better. Like that's something that I tell beginner cosplayers is like, expect your costume to fall apart like going into wearing it.
Okay.
But yeah, like armor falling off, props falling apart, that's just like, it's not even a story because it's just something that happens like every time.
It makes you appreciate those people that they have like that huge backpack on with all this stuff hanging from it. They got a flag
the cosplay medics.
It says like cosplay medic or cosplay repair or emergency, tubs of super glue and hot glue and all that stuff, and you just run up to them like, my prop broke.
It also makes you appreciate or feel sorry for maybe like people who wear big cosplays without a handler. I actually don't know how I would wear a big costume without a handler because it's So actually my question for you, what is it actually like to be a handler?
I don't know, it's just kind of like I worry about your success and I want you to succeed and do well, and so I'm just kind of always keeping track of like the parts of your costumes that I know are troublesome, that might fall off or break or bend or something. I'm just sort of watching the space around us, trying to keep track of time.
Yeah.
And you're carrying around a bunch of props and wearing a big suit of armor and all that stuff, so you don't have space or time or the flexibility to even deal with those things. So it's pretty easy for me to have a small baggie, with super glue, and it's not a big deal to do that.
And that goes back to also like going to an event knowing, like I feel like there's something to be said for knowing like this pauldron or this part of my wig or I'm worried about this part of my body, and like communicating that to your handler so that you as the cosplayer are prepared for what might happen, and also your handler can know like what your specific fears are.
Yeah, I don't remember what costume it was, but there was a costume early on in your making career that you didn't try on before going to a con, and so your first time wearing the full thing was actually at a con, and it was a disaster. And then we've learned since then, you do not do that. You completely
Thanks, Jeff.
You're so helpful. You put the whole thing on with me at least once before you go to a con, so that we both know what's going to go wrong, because the Velcro and the straps and that kind of stuff in certain places just wasn't strong enough to support the weight of the Warbler, and we just didn't know. So it was just falling apart, and I was having panic attacks all day because she was trying to compete, and then she ended up winning that one, and I think I broke down a little bit because I was so... It was a combination of relief and like all that built up anxiety from the day, because it was just like triage from the moment we left the hotel room to the
things just gradually falling off over the day. I think we both learned a lot since that con.
If you were to make another miniature version of a big prop you've made, like over the weekend, what would you choose next? Because you made your Draven axes, your tiny Draven axes. I'm gonna get them. I don't know if you've seen these before, but she made that impressive Draven costume with those huge rotating axes, and then she loved them so much she couldn't help herself but make these tiny little ones.
They were also for a costume.
Oops.
They don't work when they have the twine on them. I think I'd go for my favorites.
Which, number one, what's the number one you do this weekend?
I can't decide between my Brigitte hammer and my wiener sword. I think those are the two things. I think having a tiny wiener sword which might end up being like a regular sized fork and a regular sized hot dog. I think that'd be really cute. What is the worst part about being a cosplay handler or a cosplay partner or whatever? What's the worst part about being in the role that you're in with regard to this?
Anxiety.
No, I mine too.
It's much better now. The more experience she gets with the making and fixing and making sure that it's going to work from the beginning, and the more experience I get with helping with the triage and the repair and the transportation and all that kind of stuff, it gets better with time. But certainly I think it's worrying about it because, yeah, it's just, I worry a lot about your costumes like holding up and stuff, and I just want you to succeed and feel like you earned the chance to wear that costume out and show everybody.
I mean, once again though, like we're back to setting expectations, and I think that comes with experience, but a little bit of it is something that we can like pass on to other cosplayers and handlers. Like not only set your expectations within your own brain, you know, like this is not going to go perfectly, things are going to go wrong, but also like having a conversation with your handler and being like, if this breaks, then this is what I expect from you. If I'm feeling so anxious that I can't even say anything, this is something I expect from you.
Okay, if you could pick a cosplay related skill as your support staff.
Yeah.
For me to master overnight.
Yeah.
What would it be? You know, video editing.
Yeah.
Photography.
100%.
Now, I haven't finished yet. There's other things.
Yeah.
Carrying the snacks.
You
sitting in the car.
You're great at that. Yeah, in my absolute dream, like you would be a skilled photographer, and I would never have to like worry about photography again. Like imagine if we could have a studio here and you could just shoot me like whenever. Or we could go on vacation and take a costume and like shoot it on one of our vacation days. Not only would it be a cool partnership of like each of us doing art together, but also it would be just so incredibly like convenient and fun. It's a dream.
That's okay. I'll master it overnight, and then I'll go ahead and take credit for the video that's going up. Just assume that I did that and it wasn't Makerfish Million anyway.
I don't think setting up a camera and then taking one shot for like 45 minutes is really taking
If only you knew how hard my job was.
Oh, Ruby's here. Oh, Ruby doesn't want to be here.
Ruby, come here. Oh, my baby. You're my big baby. You're so floofy.
You can't even see her face right now.
So Ruby, excuse me.
Oh yeah, and now is a good time to mention today's video sponsor, Ruby.
Click the link in the description below to get 30,000 Ruby coins. If you could have a top of the line piece of equipment for cosplay making, what would you get for free? It just shows up.
I think the thing I would like the most is space. that might be not in the
studio.
Yeah, not in the spirit of the question, but like I love my studio. I feel so grateful to have it. But if I could have like a clean studio half and like a messy studio half, a sewing table and a cutting table and a spray painting shed. Like as grateful as I am for what I have, and I really, really love this room, you know, I think everybody who makes art is like, yeah, I could definitely expand 3 to 4 times. So far our dreams are studio in the basement, photographer husband, and going back to cons.
Gee, I can get you one of those things.
This is not really related to cosplay, but it is sort of related to what I do and what we do together. If you could have any sort of creative, entrepreneurial career, what would it be?
For me?
Yeah.
I would really like to do like adventure writing for like fantasy, like D&D or Pathfinder or whatever. The rule set doesn't matter so much as the fun of sort of creating worlds and characters and motives and mysteries. That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Or at least I would try.
Yeah, it'd be a cool venture. But also, you have a YouTube channel.
Oh, I do have a YouTube channel. Look at the link in the description. It'll be the first link in the description. It'll be above
everything else.
Yeah.
So if there's anything I would really take away from this conversation, it's that with anything in life, communication is really key with your handler, or even if it's not someone who's handling you at a con, maybe if it's someone who's just supporting you as an artist, like communicating your physical needs and also your psychological needs will make both of your experiences better.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to Zeke, I need you to tell me what you need.
I don't understand what's happening. Are you talking?
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. If there's anything else you'd like to know from me or from Zeke, or from our sponsor from today's video, Ruby Doobie, please let me know. And before you go, do the thing.
And before you go, remember to do the things. Click me on the Instagram and like me on the YouTubes and ring the bells.
And have a wonderful day.
We don't have enough cats in here.
Well, crinkle the bag.
But then I have to give them more treats.